Last but not least, I know that I should try to eat more fruit and vegetables, but I don't like them and it will be very hard to do. That's a shame, TG, because they are extremely good for you, but we can work on that. You've done really well so far. Why don't you take a look at the picture of the Crystal Lady and see how you're doing, suggested Saffron. I know how I'm doing. I've nearly killed her. I feel terrible. I can't look again because she might be gone altogether. What did I say about giving up, said Sunray. Be brave and take another look. TG nervously took the now rather dog-eared card out of his pocket and slowly brought it out to his lap. Reluctantly he turned his eyes down to it. She's coming back, he yelled, jumping up and down. The Crystal Lady was much clearer and seemed to be smiling more than she did before. Careful, laughed Sky. You'll have the boat over. Now, there are just a couple more things you need to understand before we go on. TG's grin slipped from his face. Not more to learn. While they were talking, the boat had come out of the tunnel into a little secluded cove with a wide sandy beach protected on either side by rocks. Sage and Sunray pulled off their shoes and rolled up their trousers, then leapt over the side of the boat into the water. Sky threw them a rope and they pulled the boat up onto the sand. When they were all safely on the beach, they strolled over to the rocks and sat down. I expect you've noticed that we've given you less and less help as your mission has progressed, said Sky. Yes, I had noticed, but it wasn't your fault at Billy's. You were all tied up and gagged, replied TG. This mission is all about you learning your lessons and making good choices. They have to be your choices and yours alone. We can't help you. This is especially on the last part of your mission. We can come with you, but can give you no more advice. Believe me, it's as hard for us as it is for you. We love the Crystal Lady, and we really want you to succeed. I understand. I'll do my best, replied TG earnestly, but sometimes it's so difficult to make good choices. Yes, agreed Scarlet, but you know deep down inside what's right, don't you? TG nodded uncomfortably, looking down at his toes. Why do you ignore your own feelings? Asked Sage gently. I don't know, lied TG. Come on, TG, we all know that's not true. If you admit it to us, you can admit it to yourself, and then we can help you do something about it, Sage said persuasively. TG took a deep breath. It wasn't going to be easy explaining how he felt to the warriors, but he trusted them, so he blurted it all out in a rush. I don't think anyone likes me. They all laugh at me because I lose my temper and I'm not very clever at school. I do silly things because I think it'll make me popular. I just want to belong. The minute he'd finished, TG felt like an idiot. He hid his face in his hands and could feel tears pricking the back of his eyes. The last thing he wanted was for the warriors to see him crying. Hey, TG, said Saffron softly, ruffling his hair. Don't upset yourself. It was very brave of you to tell us. Now we can help you. TG raised his head, giving her a watery smile. Why do I keep doing silly things? I can't seem to help myself. There are two things you can do that will make a big difference to the way you feel. One is easy, the other a little more difficult, offered Sky. TG brightened. What are they? I'll do anything to feel better about myself. You know the answers really, TG. You just don't want to listen to yourself. TG knew he had one answer straight away, but was reluctant to say so. Come on, you can say it. It's your choice whether you take your own advice after all, laughed Sky. Okay, sighed TG. You might think it's easy, but I don't. I should eat more fruit and vegetables and stop eating too many sweets and fast, fatty foods. I should also give up fizzy drinks, but I absolutely adore them. I don't think I can. That wasn't so hard now, was it? Smiled Saffron. The main thing is that you understand what is good for you. We can work on getting you to choose what's good for you later. As we've said before, you don't need to give up fizzy drinks altogether. Just be careful about the ones you pick. Read the label and make sure you don't have colours and additives in them. Also drink plenty of fresh, pure water. That's really good for you, and you'll soon learn to love it. TG didn't look convinced. Saffron's right, chimed in Sunray as he pulled a carrot out of his pocket and offered it to TG. TG politely but firmly shook his head. He wasn't ready just yet. I'll let you into another little secret, continued Sunray. Fruit and vegetables contain fibre, which is something that helps us to keep your insides nice and clean. Lots of people feel tired most of the time because they don't get rid of all their unnecessary waste. Sunray took a big bite of the carrot. Something as simple as eating fresh fruit and vegetables and drinking plenty of pure water can make a big difference. Once you start eating properly, you'll find you have so much more energy, you'll be able to concentrate in class and won't lose your temper. Doesn't that sound good? It sounds too good to be true, muttered TG. Well, it is true, but the only way to find out is to try. In unison, the warriors leapt off the rock and began to dance around, chanting, Phyto power, put some on your plate. Phyto power, makes you feel just great. Where does it come from? The sun has made a pledge. Where can we get some? Just eat some fruit and veg. Phyto power, put some on your plate. Phyto power, makes you feel just great. TG found himself jumping down off the rocks to join them. It looked such fun. As soon as they'd finished that song, they burst into the next. Balance and variety is what we all need. Balance and variety helps us to succeed. Have a plate of porridge to superstart your day. Nibble on some nuts and seeds, they'll bounce you on your way. Eat some fish with fruit and veg, you'll really be surprised, 'cause healthy food can taste real good, so open up your eyes. TG surprised himself as he remembered the words and sang along at the top of his voice. Then they all collapsed onto the beach, roaring with laughter and rolling around on the soft sand. How about building sandcastle while we finish our chat, suggested Sage. TG thought that was a good idea. He felt his needs and began to scrape the sand with his hands. Let's make a car. My dad used to make really good ones with me when we went to the seaside. They were quiet for a while as they all concentrated on the task in hand. Sky was the first to break the silence. We've agreed on the first thing you can do to help make life easier for you. What do you think is the second? I'll give you a clue. It's got nothing to do with fruit and vegetables. Oh, thank goodness for that, said a relieved TG. Can you give me another clue? Because I've got no idea what it could be. Rubbing his chin with his fingers, Sky thought for a moment. How can I put it without giving it away? Because the answer is inside you, TG. We just have to get you to see it for yourself. He stopped digging to think some more. I know. What have the bullies at school, Candy Floss, the fast food fiend and Billy the Burp all got in common? TG stopped digging too. He thought back to his time at school and then with the others. They were all horrid to me. Sky nodded. Yes, they were. Were they all horrid to you all the time? No. Sometimes they were really nice to me, especially at first, replied TG. And why do you think that was, coaxed Sky. I don't know, sulked TG. Yes, you do. Why were they nice to you at first? Sky insisted. Slowly, TG dragged out a reply, because they wanted me to do something they knew I didn't really want to. Sky nodded but continued to look at him expectantly. TG thought hard. They were nice to me, so I would do things I knew I shouldn't, like eat all those sweets and drink fizzy drinks that made me lose my temper. Then they got angry with me and called me names when I tried to stop. That's really nasty. Why would they do that? Good question, agreed Sky. TG was quiet for a moment and then asked, why don't bullies bully everyone? Why do they pick on me? Because you don't believe in yourself, replied Sky, putting his hand reassuringly on TG's shoulder. Bullies everywhere are like that. They know they are doing wrong things and they feel better when they can persuade or force other people to join them. They are usually weak and need to have followers to make them feel big. They can see that you are not sure of yourself and want to have friends, so they pretend to like you so you will do what they want. TG shook Sky's hand. That's not fair. I hate it. Sky's right, you know, Saffron gently interrupted. It would help enormously if you stood up for what you know is right. It would make you feel good about yourself. How on earth can I do that? Came the defiant reply. Patiently, Saffron continued. If you ate more healthily, you'd feel much better, so you'd find concentrating on your work easy and be able to control your temper. Then you could choose to ignore people like Henry and stay calm. Surely that would make you happier and you'd start to do better in school. Sage couldn't resist adding, if you are energetic and in control of yourself, you will be more confident in joining in with the other children, and the bullies will find it more difficult to pick on you. That would be amazing. But could you do it? Yeah, but what about when they call me Goldilocks? What do I do then? Well, you could just ignore them and act as if they hadn't said it. They'd soon get fed up with it. Or if you really don't like your hair, ask your mum if you could have it cut. It's your choice. They can only make you angry if you let them. Anyway, I like your hair. Makes you look like that footballer who scored the winning goal in the World Cup. TG hadn't thought of it like that before. Gradually, as he calmed down, he could see the warriors were talking sense. I'll try my best, he said at last. What do I have to do now? Good on you, TG, said Sky proudly. You just have to learn one more lesson and your mission is complete. This may seem an easy task, but it has many hidden pitfalls, so be on your guard. Remember, things aren't always what they seem, warned Scarlet. Hey, shouted Sage, am I the only one still making this car? Yes, replied Scarlet, as she jumped into the middle of their half-finished effort, totally messing it up. Let's get a move on and let TG complete his mission, shouted Sky over his shoulder as he ran back down the sand towards the dinghy. Well, we'll see how they get on when they meet Captain Reckless next time.